has a lot of engineering issues because there's a lot of sand. We build on a swamp and sand. And at the moment we have the Rolls-Royce is out of our league. It is just a huge issue of building everything up, all the streets and everything up, and we just can't do that. So we work with our engineering consultant mates here, and the problem really exists when we have a heavy torrential downpour as we had the other night. At the same time we've got a high water event or a high tide event. The water can't flow out quickly. But you'll also notice that just as quickly as it goes up, it also goes down too. I wouldn't be worried about crocodiles. If it's salt water, I'd be worried about your car.
However, I could be worried about the possibilities in the future of increasing turbulent events. Now, we've just had the Industry Council of Australia come out, and the Minister for Climate Change saying that Cairns is one of the 5 highest risk places in the nation to be impacted upon by climate change and a flood inundation. So we do need to do some very, very tight and good planning around that. And we have to look at the mitigation. So we've got 2 areas there that we need to look at. How do we mitigate the impacts of storm surges, stormwater runoff, tidal surges, possible cyclones, increasingly turbulent cyclones? But how do we also ensure that our emergency management responses are well planned and well communicated so people know what to do in the event of that?
You are doing a great job with the regional gallery, but I think we should also recognise Keith Lacey's contribution in kicking that off with making the building available.
Yes, sorry, state government, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
But you gave me the building, I can raise the money.
Absolutely, and you've done a good job. But my question is relating to one-off community engagement, and there has been some discussion on that already today. And so I do recall from my time as member for Barron River, the issue of rates and the involvement of the community in that whole setting of the rates was a big issue some years ago, and they really did feel that they had been excluded from that opportunity. And I noticed the following year that people were invited to put in submissions to council about how we structure the rates. But I wonder if, and it's a question to both of you, whether you're considering going a further step forward and adopting a model used very successfully by other local authorities, such as Noosa and Caboolture, as I understand, where the residents actually engage in a much more holistic way and a much more engaged way with the council in terms of sitting down with them as a rates reference group and really together working through very complex and real issues involved in setting the rates for the city. So I'd be interested in hearing all your views on that. Thank you.
The review on rates, but I didn't get a reply to it, so I'm not quite sure where it went to. But I think that, and maybe that's part of the thing about consultations, that people are not getting replies always about why their point of view or their idea may not have been adopted. But certainly, someone saw me on the way in today and said how much their rates have gone up. Those coastal cities in Caloundra and along that area knew that when the increase in land values happened, that if they just used that blunt instrument of saying, well, your rates will increase as much as your unimproved capital value has, if you happen to live on waterfront or tough, you have to pay extra. We really ought to have had some sort of community reference group that was actually making recommendations to council. And that could have had technical support, and could have looked at all the other ways that there are of ensuring greater equity in rates. So that's certainly something that I will be putting into place if elected.
Leslie, I know you're interested in this one, and thank you for the question. The sad but real fact is we have to pay rates. I'd like to sit down with the Treasurer and discuss a tax regime. We have a community debate about how do we pay our taxes. The reality is that this council, most councils, raise 83% of the revenue from rates. And we try and make that as fair and equitable as possible. And of course the balance is that you lower rates in your area, you represent a reasonably affluent area of Cairns, Barron River, then you you raise it there, somebody else has got to pay, so you hammer somebody in the back streets of Mayoral. We try and bring in the fairest and most equitable rating system that we can. We have consulted with that banding system, as you know, extensively. We think that's a fairer mechanism. We will retain that in those areas of high volatility. But we think we've got the balance right at the moment, and if we need to consult, we will. But you will open Pandora's box if you decide to have an open meeting on rates. Nobody wants to pay them.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I think we've now run out of time for questions unless, sorry, I would be...
2 minutes too young.
2 minutes to...
President's prerogative. Well...
Don't waffle, Jeremy.
It's been very interesting, and I think you've enlightened us a little bit about... You'll give us a little bit more information on which we'll be able to base our vote on the 15th. But perhaps as a parting question, you might like to spend 1 minute only, because that's all we've got, 2 minutes between you, is to impart your... believe what you would like to be recognised or remembered for in, say, 20 years' time. For your next 4 years as Mayor of Cairns, what would you like to be remembered for?
Kevin, I think we'll start with you since you finished the last one.
Hey, I thought it was... Okay, no problem, very simple. I have great joy myself waking up every morning in this city. And I've derived great satisfaction over 11 years of making a contribution to its growth and development to the international status that it holds now. My simple want is that my 9-year-old daughter will grow up in this city with the same degree of pride and even more opportunity that this city has given me. That's all I want.
And yes, I think that I also would like to leave it a better place than where I found it. So it will be around looking at those ways where we know that Cairns can do better and getting processes in place to ensure that that actually occurs. So yes, I'd like to leave it as I've talked before about being a remarkable tropical city, and I would like it to be even more remarked upon.
Thank you. I think that really is the end of the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your contribution and input. I'm not sure that we had any really tough questions, but I do hope that this debate has delivered some of the hope for spontaneity and substance from our candidates, and that you now feel a little more informed about these two candidates than you did an hour ago. I would like to wrap up by just once again thanking the following organisations for their values.